All right, so Andrew, you're big on the I'd say small business world, medium
Yeah.
business, small
Okay.
business probably. So you're big on the small business world. What is the top three things small businesses are doing wrong with marketing right now?
Um, I think number one is looking for a videographer that needs to make nice videos.
Well, shots fired.
Since they're a small business, they don't have enough funds to spend $2,000 on one video. I remember 3 years ago, it used to be like that, where 4 years ago, where you can hire someone to do like one video for social media and then it would, do good and reach out. Now it's like, wow, we need multiple of these, like 10 or more, like a month's worth of content to like be able to get, or the one video doesn't cut off or doesn't cut it anymore. Unless it's for a website or, like YouTube. But as far as social media, like that one video, it's not worth the small business owner to just spend a couple $1,000s on.
Right, they want that website video, that introduction video.
Yeah, I mean, if they're running it for an ad, then yeah, that's perfect. But if they're just like putting it for just content and expecting people to just see their business and like, hey, I'm gonna go there, it's like I don't think it's worth it.
The hype videos, the
Yeah, yeah,
montage food videos.
yeah. Just like the expensive. I mean, I just say nice videos because I'm gonna assume like you're looking for a videographer. They look for a videographer that that's experienced and comes with an expensive camera and knows how to color grade and make it look dope because they want to make their business look attractive or dope. And it's like I don't think that's the route. This is one way that I look at it. I'm not dying on this hill, but I kind of sound like I am. But yeah, that's
Okay,
one.
so number one, hiring. I think hiring a high-end videographer is what you're saying. Hiring a
Oh yeah,
videographer because you can hire a videographer to do social media videos, to do more ad-worthy videos. Let's call them more.
yeah. And then the second one, fuck. As far as marketing, I think building good leadership where your team is comfortable and voluntarily is would like to be on camera to help out the business. Because we work with other, I'm not gonna name clients, but we have some clients who have good leadership where almost every member on that team is willing to be on camera. Like, yeah, what video it is, like we'll do it because they see the bigger vision. Like, I want to help the business grow. And there's other businesses that are like, I don't want to be on camera, bro. Like, I rather just not do that. And it's subconsciously like, I don't want to help the business because whatever their truth is, like either they're not helping me out or I don't like the leadership, so I don't want to make more sales for them or whatever the reason is subconsciously in their head that they're just rather not do it.
So number two is building a team from the start that can push the business through social media ads, marketing, all that. It's almost part of the sales team.
Yeah, but no, building just have good leadership where either the sales team, your just team in general is willing to be on camera.
Okay, cool.
Because if you have bad leadership, they're not going to want to help you grow your business. They're just there for the paycheck and I'm out of here.
So you think all small businesses need to have
Yeah, oh,
that
fuck yeah.
leadership?
Fuck yeah. They need to have good leadership and set the standard by like being on camera first and then the new hires come in, they're like, oh, okay, like this is how it works. Like I don't mind being on camera. Eventually it's gonna come into we can talk probably more about this later, but creating incentives for members of the team that are always on camera. Like was Applewood, like the construction guys, El Tigre with the Puma and all them.
They're great.
It's like they're getting compensated now from the videos that they were doing by getting sent off to Disneyland, going to those MLS games. Eventually, they probably get bonuses on videos that they hit and other stuff that I forgot. At Tigre, that's the guy who owns the business, is like giving them. And I've seen some of their ads too on, pushing software. So they're probably getting some kickback on that.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah, I think especially nowadays, it's kind of almost impossible to start a small business without the social media side, without the marketing side. Especially when all the tools are there for you, you can't really not do it. Back in
Yeah.
the day when you were making commercials, when you're making TV commercials, radio commercials, I think you get away with not doing it. But nowadays, it's the golden age of social media. So
Yeah, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's a lot of a negative, like connotation, or if I'm saying it right, but there's negative look into like social media. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want. But it's like, it's just part of the business that you're gonna have to learn. Like, you know, for us, we we grew our careers and like learning about this filming and being in almost in marketing. These clients, these businesses, they only focused on their either how to build a car, and then they were able to just teach other people to do it. Now they're growing how to build cars, and then they forget like there's the sales aspect, there's also the marketing aspect, and those are different departments that you have to also grow while you're doing that, while you're growing your core offer. So, and same thing for us, like we only know how to make, not, I'm not gonna put us in the box, but we only focused on like how to get attention and make good videos, but we forget that we have to go get more new clients and like relate to them to like want to work with us. We also have to build workflows and automations or other things in there, keep track of invoices, be our own accountant, for all of it to work for in order for us to grow even more.
nice.
So it's the same thing with them. We just look at them because they have a building and employees that, oh, they must have it all. But we forget, like when you actually start talking to them, you're like, oh shit, like they just got here because they just only focus on this. But there's a lot of other stuff that's leaking that, oh, what the hell? I thought you would have had it all together, but they're struggling in different aspects.
All right. So number two is bad leadership that doesn't focus on communication first. Let's say. What's number three?
Number three, I would say, I think it ties back to number one. Is just like do it yourself first, so you know what you're looking for, and if you end up hiring someone in house to do marketing or hire an agency or a content creator, like you at least have the knowledge of like not to manage them, but set expectations for them to come in, because there is if we're going to bring you on, you need to follow our theme, our rules. Like the college, for example, they have their strict rules, what they do. There's some that businesses that don't have anything. It's like, we'll let you just do whatever. And it's like, there's no right or wrong answer. I don't know. I think maybe the right answer is like, we'll have a solid theme and do that. I think that's where I'm struggling with. I know going off on a tangent, but I'm struggling with because I've always been against anti-theme. Can you move the thing,
sir.
Gio? There you go. Sorry. I struggle with being more structured and have it more systemized. Like, here are the themes, here are the color things, here's the way we normally lay out our stuff. It's all structured versus like we're gonna come in and we're gonna do our own thing that works.
Okay.
And the only way to know how to do any of that is by doing it yourself. So if you're a business owner that's thinking about doing it, just do it yourself first, see what works, note what works, and then continue to do that. And then what doesn't work, also remember that. And then when you bring someone else, you can let them know. These type of videos are more controversial. They don't work. It does get attention, but we struggle with trying to bounce back from these type of videos. So let's focus on this, but also know to have creative freedom to like let them also create, and then also continue to experiment instead of this is only works, that's it. Stay away from this and only just do this.
So for the business owner that thinks they're too busy to do this, how do they start doing it themselves? How do they justify in their mind, okay, I gotta like put some content out there, I gotta start putting a strategy, ads. How do they start doing it themselves?
Just by using their phone. Yeah, I think now in age, and you and I know, and we've seen the industry switch over to like phone, content and phone, gimbals or setups. It's just film it on your phone. Don't overthink it. Don't compare yourself. Like, well, that person has a expensive camera and looks better. You'd be surprised how the low quality videos actually work when you're just pointing and shooting, because you're just building off of personality instead of it looks good, so people are going to pay attention. When reality, it's like if the information is there and it's valuable, that's what gets the shares and builds actually community in social media.
So I'm a business owner. I have a phone. I have my business. Let's say I'm a mechanic. Do I follow trends? Do I talk to camera? Do I give my offer? Hey, I have wheels on 50% discount next week. What do I do? How do I start?
If you're a mechanic like that that's looking to do both, I would say everything, all the above. You got to try it out.
Just gotta do everything.
Trends help get the most broad attention, and it works because it's relatable, funny, whatever, what's going on. Educational helps build more trust. So if you make trends to get everyone, throw a wide net, everyone who comes in through looks at your profile will also see the educational that you're providing. It builds trust. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about. The goal for it is to get local people. So yes, 1 million views does sound good, but maybe 1% is local. Less than 1% is like near you. So whenever you do get those people to come in, you just bring them in with the trust and other things that you're also posting, and that's usually what helps the business grow. Because for me, I went the route of, I'm only gonna do trends and do funny stuff because I want to go viral as much as I can and build an audience and get whatever many followers. Versus, I knew that if I did educational, it's gonna take longer to build an audience, but that audience, that 1,000 followers, those are people who actually will pay you for what you know, versus the 12,000 that I have, or whatever, 20,000 that are just there, and maybe one person would pay for whatever I know. So there's a lot of there's different ways to go about why you're doing it for social media.
So should I use prompts? Should I use ChatGPT? Give me 10 prompts I should film in the week. Should I just talk about my niche? Should I just try a lot of things and see what sticks, like you're saying?
I never really. You should be the interviewer. You're pretty much are the interviewer.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time having to think about this because I'm like just going in there, just going off of my experience. But I would assume, and I think everyone gives this generic advice by using just ChatGPT and figure out the trends. But the easiest thing to do is just go on social media. Training your algorithm is the number one thing that I always teach people. And Gio can attest, and everyone else that is around me. It's
What
like,
does that mean?
training your algorithm is pretty much if you're on your For You page and you're seeing everything that doesn't help you in your business or you as a person, that's like content just for entertainment, for just like waste. You got to get rid of that. So, TMZ, gossip, unless you're making money off of it. If your business is about gossip, you want to be kept up on the latest things that the celebrities are doing, because then you can make content from it.
So reset your algorithm, start from zero,
Be a consumer.
look at your niche.
Look at your niche, or just look at other content. Yeah, actually look at your niche first, and then eventually you will build that skill. Like, okay, I can see me doing that, and then you will be able to identify other videos and other niches, and like, I can tie that into my own niche. So I think going to break it down, there's consumers and producers, and then there's prosumers. I've talked about this before. You want to be a prosumer if you're gonna do it for business or just make money on social media. And a prosumer is pretty much someone who consumes the content and then produces from that content. A consumer is just someone who's just using social media for fun, watch their family, be entertained, escape whatever is going on. A producer is someone who's just making the content that's pretty much like for other people to just consume. And then a prosumer is people like us, where it's like we're taking inspiration and we're gonna make similar stuff, or pretty much copy and paste exactly what they're doing.
I love it. So I think your audience is mainly divided into business owners, videographers, content creators, and just everything in between. For the business owner, let's say they already know this, they try making their own things, they know, like you said, they did it themselves before they started to tell their team, hey, we gotta make this content because this is part of the sales funnel, this is part of what keeps us alive, what keeps us thriving in the marketplace and the competition. And they've done all these things you say they should be doing. When should they hire someone like you, a social media expert, a ad consultant, I forget what your official title is, but when should they hire an Andrew?
And I think a marketing agency. I think I'm slowly converting into that. When they should hire a marketing agency is when they keep having the same problem of like people coming and going, their turnaround for videographers or their marketing, whatever strategy is like. Well, first, if you don't have the skills. Majority of businesses don't have the skills and marketing intuition to like know what's good and what isn't. They have to spend money and test everything to figure it out. So you can take the risk on spending $5,000 to test everything out and see what works as far as videos, videographers, ads, and social media. To just come at the end of it and be like, fuck, nothing worked. Like, let's see what else let's see if I can bring on an expert. That's another probably $10,000 for, I don't know, a year or however long you want to work with them. So you spend 15,000 in total, wasting that because it's like opportunity cost. And
that's kind of what my question was getting at too, was what should they be looking out for, right? What because I think you do a great job, but for the business owner, how do they know they're getting a good deal? What do they even ask for, right? Like just content, just millions of views? Because I think the business owner wants to, give me a million views, and they don't know this, what you're saying about, well, yeah, but those million views are going to give you 2 sales, whereas maybe 1,000 views gets you 50 sales, right? What should they be looking out for if it's not Andrew,
they should be, fuck man, you're asking pretty good questions. You're having me think a lot.
I want to make it useful for whoever's watching.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you're asking them for yourself too, because I want to fucking solve whatever problems that you and I are both having right now. If you are trying to solve it and what to look for, I think as far as marketing or hiring people. I think it just depends on like how much money you're trying to spend. Because you can risk spending.
Let's say that client that's spending $10,000 on a marketing agency. What should they be getting? What, in your opinion, would be the gold standard of what they should be getting?
A month?
Let's say a month.
A month? Damn. I think maybe like a month's worth of content, strategies on like the purpose for the content, like posting stories, running ads, maybe even Google, like working on Google SEO, building systems and automations, like using Go High Level to like build funnels for them. So when they bring in those leads, so you're handling the organic content part, and you're also handling the ads, bringing in leads, and you're also bringing in, helping the Google part to, it all like, there's this, fuck, what is it? It all ties in together with all that. So if like you're handling all 3, even sales, so like even 4 things. So you're even helping with sales when it comes to, since this is a new way of bringing in leads that like cold traffic to a little bit warm, the sales team that you already have are people that you already had a system with, when, referral word of mouth is a lot easier to close versus brand new people that you're getting their information, have to call them up. You have to build that whole new system, and sometimes people don't want to learn that system, and it ties back into leadership.
And I think that's a great thing about the services you offer. Pause. I'll come back to that.
No, you're good. I'm not gonna edit this shit. I'm putting it.
All right. Still looks nice.
Thank you, though.
Oh, the light's back. That's the cool part about what you do, which can also almost cannibalize your business. But I feel a big effort in what you do is not only do you do the content, do all that, you kind of give the businesses the tools for them to just do it on themselves, kind of film the content on themselves, have these systems, these Excels, these Google Sheets, these funnels, the SEO, the GPTs we were just talking about, custom GPTs, for the businesses to do it on themselves. Which, if you're selling this, you're kind of thinking, well, that's just going to get me out of a job. But if anything, I think it's giving you more business in giving these tools to people. And that's something I like about what your sales model is like, okay, I'm not just doing this for you. I won't be able to be there all the time. Kind of want you to build your team so you can do it yourself.
Yeah, it definitely stems from like genuinely helping the business owner and wanting them to be successful, whether it's with you or without you. Like if I lose a client, then it's gonna suck, because it's like, damn, I did have a plan for us to do this together, and I built everything so we can do it together. But knowing, nothing lasts forever, and whether the business isn't making enough where they can't afford me, or I'm just doing a bad job where it's like we had to let them go, regardless, I still try to leave something for them to continue to be successful with the tools and the knowledge that I give them, versus I'm trying to just collect payment as much as I can and write this out, and they're only paying me for this. Like, I go in depth and try to figure out like what's another problem I can do. And I think I had this I had this idea too, and I want to make a video on this. I think you and I and Gio and the people that are business owners, like-minded, we are problem solvers. We want to solve problems, and sometimes we want to solve other people's problems more than we solve our own problems, which is fucking hard because it's like, damn, if I were to just solve my own problems just like I'm trying to solve my clients' problems, then I think I would be a lot further than I am, just like how we're helping them. And there's a balance to that on trying to solve our own problems. But what I concluded was just, not conclude, I don't know how to say it properly, but initial thought was just like, we're just problem solvers and we just get paid because solving problems is valuable. And you solve a problem because people need video or they need a story to be able to send and like get grants or however it is. I don't know the end value of what you do. I just know that it is valuable, and you're solving that problem for them, and you also solve what other problems that your clients have. And hey, how can I help you with that also? So I take that into every single one of my clients, even with my friends that are always that are around us, trying to solve their problems. When it comes to business or business related stuff, I'm not trying to solve hey, or wife, like family stuff too. I like solving that too, or if I can, or just give different perspectives or show my experience and like learn from what I fucked up on.
I love that. And I think we talk about the business side, a business owner in your audience, talking to the content creator, the agency people in your audience. And I think you've done a really good job of cultivating that talent with like Gio, with your team. For those that are watching this, if they're still watching, thank you for still watching. How do you get into that mindset of, okay, yes, I want to help. Obviously, I think everyone wants to help people, but how do I then make it profitable where I can have those clients, I can keep selling, right? And maybe I'm answering my own question because maybe it's like you said, maybe we're the worst ones in using our own product, right? Well, you do this product for everyone else. Just that's something I struggle with. I don't make ads where you do. And I think a lot of my problems with getting more clients or qualified clients rather, because we don't want to work with everyone, is just do the thing you do for them, for yourself, right? Like, just do the content, just do the things you do for them. You know how to do it. You have the tools. You literally have all the resources in the world. Just service yourself as a client first.
It's hard though. I'm guilty of it too. I'll get leads coming in and I'm like, they'll be there. They'll need my service. Not even knowing like there's other people that they're watching their ads, like competitors, and filling out their form, and they're gonna call them immediately. And then I'm telling my clients like, you gotta call these leads now, immediately. Don't wait. Like if you let them wait, but then for me, I'm like it's always like internal thing that we always do.
How can you get out of that headspace though? How can you?
Damn, man, it's just discipline. I think just trying it, taking baby steps. It's more of an insecurity, scared thing where I feel where do I want to be able to, be on this phone call and for them to tell me no? Like, I already have like sales background and like in marketing, or not marketing, but just sales, like cold bound sales, selling makeup and hair straighteners. Like that's all I would be is told is just no. So I have thicker skin, but it's more of like, do I want to waste my energy trying to convince somebody? So there's ways to solve that problem, build, a video, a VSL, and let them watch that.
What's a VSL?
Video sales letter, I think. It's just pretty much a video that's like on a website where pretty much just explains everything you do or gives more information than just like the ad that you're watching. It just goes more in depth of what you do. At least that's how I see it. So I made one. So when they watch my ad, they'll go to my landing page and it's like, hey, watch this video first before you book an appointment with me. And I'd explain everything like from beginning to end. Here's what we do, here's how we do it, here's what it looks like, and here are the results at the end of it. So instead of me hopping on a phone call for an hour and trying to convince a business owner, if they watch all that, it's a 15-minute call. Like they just want to know the price or how can this work for me?
It's basically an onboarding.
And it just speeds up the process a lot faster.
Love it. Yeah, I think I love this format you used to have of you're essentially like auditing like social media ads. So the people are like, I'll make your video on Instagram, and you used to like be like, let's talk about this video about this person offering videos.
I did it a couple of times, but I appreciate that. I needed that feedback so I can make more of those.
They're pretty good. I like them. I would appreciate my video getting audited if I posted one. What I'm getting at with that is, what is the biggest mistake you see those people doing? The people that are selling videos, the people that are selling photography, that are selling ads. What's the biggest mistake they're doing in their ads?
Fine, I don't want to put them. I want to keep my competitors losing, but
Don't put them on game.
I'll give them the secret, but they will never use it. Just film on your phone, man.
I knew you were gonna
Just
say
film
that.
on your phone, make it
knew
quick
it.
and simple, and because I'll put more on game. When a lot of people, videographers, they will take forever to get the video delivered because they gotta edit themselves. The fact they gotta film on their camera, they gotta run to their laptop, and they gotta edit whatever color grading, whatever, put the whole story, then send it back for revisions. That's already a day or two if they're on top of that, if they don't have other clients. Versus, well, it's on the phone, but there's a system to it. It's not just point and shoot and then it's good. There, you have to have a way of, the way to frame a video, the way the ad should be, the messaging in the ad, and then how to even direct people to do it, and then how to edit it. So there's a lot more, but I'm making it simple as hell because I can't, for other people to do it. But yeah, for example, film on the phone, the way we have everything, it's all set up so we can just edit on CapCut. And sometimes we'll even have the ad finished before we even leave the project.
That's clutch.
Or with same day deliverables, we have the ad, here's the ad, yeah, let's run it. And oh my God, it's that fast. Like, yeah, you're not waiting 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get the ad posted, and then maybe like a couple of days or a week later to get your first lead. It's like we're doing it right then and there, and then we give it to them, and they're, oh my fucking God, how the fuck you do it? It's like,
I feel personally attacked.
not you, but definitely, like, I think you and I already have a good, we know how each other works, so it's a good perspective to also have, like, it doesn't work for everything. It just works in this industry that we're doing because, speed,
It's everything.
speed is everything. And I mainly now, like, the business model is trying to switch into that where it's like, we get the whole month's worth of content, same day deliverables, and ad, and we film it. Because business owners, working with them, it's like trying to get the time to, okay, let's set this shoot. Who's going to be in it? Do they have time? Something always comes up. Well, that person has to go film or do something else, their job, and it's like, fuck. So what's least convenient for them? Well, we build good relationships with our clients, and we know how to talk to everybody else. So we help that problem. We're only there for 2 hours. We help that problem instead of multiple days or 4-hour shoots. That we get these videos done so you have a month worth of content right then and there so you can start posting. That's another problem that we're solving fast. So
Yeah, I think we come from two different upbringings. I'll say in the marketing world, I came up from more of a production background and kind of more traditional filmmaking background. You came from a sales background and selling stuff, and both kind of converged there with the art and the marketing.
you're good. You keep going.
Let me turn it on. Thank you, Joe. From the garage, by the way. Oh, like I was saying, I come up from more of a traditional sense, you come up more from a sales background, and they both converge, right? You do need to know some technicality to do social media videos. You do need to know how to frame, you need to know how to compose. Like, yes, you can be a little bit loose, but you do need to know the basics, right? Lighting, all that. It doesn't matter because there's so much content out there that you do have to stick out a little bit in something. My point with that is that I think the world has changed so much where back when I was coming up and I was doing work in my first production company, a month deliverable time wasn't that crazy, right? You make a video for a car agency and that car agency's like, okay, we'll see you in a month, and you're editing for a month. Nowadays, like you said, a day is kind of expected, right? Like a week is expected. It's become so condensed in that if you offer a month, they're like, a month?
Yeah.
I shot some pictures the other day. They were asking like the next day, like, where are the pictures? I'm like, they're getting there.
It used to be a joke, like, hey, can I get the raw photos, or hey, the video's done? And then it used to be a joke where it's like, damn, like, relax. and then now it's like starting to be
It's a reality.
the standard. And I think I'm trying to push that standard a lot further because then that weeds out my competitors, and eventually they'll catch on and try to figure it out. But they're since it's kind of new, the quality will be so low because they're just trying to create fast food instead of finding that balance. And it would take them 2 years to figure out how I'm doing it because I already did this 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I started doing it, so I'm further along than them.
Yeah, I think it can be fast and good. It doesn't necessarily have to be either or. But I think that just has to do a lot with the system. The people who are helping you. Obviously, if you want something the same day and good, you can't do it yourself. You need a team. You need people doing it on the spot. You need quick revisions. That's another thing too with the clients. You need them to actually tell you if this works. You can't have a week waiting time. Like, does this look good? We need to know right now before we leave the dealership.
Yes.
So.
What are your thoughts on AI? AI videos, AI flyers, AI graphics. We kind of talked about it earlier, but we can talk about it again.
You love AI, right?
I love it, man. I love
The graphics.
I fucking love it. I mean, there's it. ChatGPT pushes out the same graphic. The icons, 4 icons, and then the little description
List.
underneath it, the brushstroke, and a background with the text on top. But it's like we're so close to it that we can identify it immediately. But the average Joe, I don't think that they even pay attention. They just see it like, oh, they do all that? Okay, like, especially if that flyer or whatever the business is doing, if it's solving the problem, they're just not solving our problem. That's why we don't look at it as like, that's why we look at it like more, like, why the fuck is it framed like that? But I think it's solving the problem for their ideal client, and that's all that matters.
It's crazy to think the last time we did this podcast, I don't think AI was that heavy in the world yet 3 years ago. So what, the advent of ChatGPT and all that, I mean, it existed, but it wasn't as big as it is now where everyone is using it, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that's such a part of our lives now that, people on the daily are using it, they're making it very complex. Well, I have two thoughts on AI, generative AI. Is one, I agree with you to a certain extent. I think businesses starting out get a lot of flack for using AI, but we were just talking before this that at the same time, it creates this weird thing where the videos or the posts that aren't using AI aren't getting traction, aren't getting comments. And ironically, the posts that do use AI, so an AI flyer and all that, and mind you, I don't particularly love the look of those flyers. I think it could be very cheap if you put in very low effort. Ironically, though, those posts are getting a lot of engagement, even if the engagement is comments saying, "Why are you using AI? This looks terrible. Why? What is this? It's not the food I ordered." Which I get it. I get the hate for it, but we're creating this self-serving model where the businesses are using it because you're commenting on it.
Oh yeah.
So you're feeding the algorithm that let me push this AI stuff because you felt a reaction to it. So now the algorithm is like, no, we should push this more. So the businesses see that and they're like, okay, well, maybe people hate it, but they're converting it, and if anything, a view on the business could be a potential customer, right?
Yeah.
Whereas no views on our posts I did without AI is not a customer, right? So it's this very weird place on the internet right now where people are criticizing AI, art, and all that, which is fair, but it's also making it grow because they're bringing attention to it. So it's kind of like the Barbara Streisand effect, right? So don't talk about it, but that creates more awareness to it. So I get why business use it. It's easy. A lot of these businesses are struggling. They don't have capital to do a lot of things. I mean, I love a homegrown image and brand and logo and all that, but a lot of these mom and pop shops, they're gonna go out of business if they don't do something now. You know, and hopefully later they're like, okay, I made this. Now I can make it into a brand. Now I can make it into a logo. Now I can make my own menu. But man, when you're starting out a business, as being a business owner, it's rough. You got to start like pushing stuff now, right? Not later. And all these tools are in the wild. And the biggest problem is more so that we're still in like the very, very much like the newborn era of AI, right? Mm-hmm. This is like back when Internet Explorer was invented. This is back when we had like Paint and all this stuff. Like this is like the start of it. That they're very capable. They're as capable as the people using them is the problem, right? So if you don't have that design language to prompt an AI model, then it's going to look very generic because the AI model is just going to use what it considers the best looking middle ground, the best looking average, right? Yeah. So that language is going to evolve, and people are going to know all these designer things. I've seen people post prompts on on Instagram of use this prompt if you want to use this, and they look incredible. I'm like, this is amazing. Like, this prompt engineering is very new, and I think people are the common, like the common user is going to end up learning about that more and more, which is going to make our job a bit more difficult, because then we have to be even better, because now the AI video is going to look so good that we're going to be, okay, now our thing has to look even better, because we're competing with perfect lighting conditions, perfect, everyone's smiling, everyone has makeup on, everyone looks like a supermodel, and now you got to compete with that, which I have a thought on that as well. But I think it's gonna get way better, because people are just getting better with the technology in general. Same thing with phones. When phone video came out, when phone video was popping, it looked terrible. People were like underexposing. It was like blurry. And nowadays, there's like actually too much content where something can happen in the world, and not only is there like a million angles of it, unfortunately, especially with like tragedies and stuff, they all look they're all 4K 60 frames per second, perfectly crystal clear, that in a second you could be watching all these videos from around the world whenever something happens. And there's like multiple angles, which when I was growing up, that didn't exist. That you would have this one blurry thing of like something that happened, right? But now you get all this stuff, which is a little bit too much, I think. But anyways, that's my main point on AI. I think the counter to that is that there's this trend right now, I think, where everything's going a bit more lo-fi, where people are starting to make things look intentionally, which I think Alex Hormozy recently started doing this, where he's just doing his phone. He's intentionally making it look like, by the way, this
Finally,
is a set.
somebody said this.
Yeah, we actually have a huge set. This is just it's supposed to look lo-fi.
Did I tell you? Who the fuck? I was talking to Roman, but like, yeah, Alex Hormozy is on a run right now, production run, where he's proving, like, as long as the information is valuable, that's all people care about. They don't care about if the video, the studio, and I'm like, fuck, I've been saying this since day one, 5 years ago. Not that we're right, it's just, here's one tool that works. But coming from Alex Hormozy, as much money as he makes,
like, he knows, he understands the trends and what's happening, right?
Well, but he's noticing, like, I'm spending a lot more money because we're pushing videos back because the color grading isn't there, or the transition isn't there, or the graphics aren't ready. So he probably just got upset, like, why is it taking forever? Well, why do we need this? He was talking about in recent videos, the Elon Musk model that someone in his team built, where it's like, just scrap everything, and then we will add anything back that we needed. I'll have to look at the video, I'll send it to you, but he's like, that's why I'm just going back to this, and eventually if I need to add new mics or more lights, then whatever is needed will eventually be added on top of it. So I was kind of happy, because I'm like, it's a bittersweet, because it's like, I've been saying this, but then now everyone's gonna do this.
Yeah, you've been saying, last time we did the podcast, it looked not too dissimilar to this, and there's that big trend to like go lo-fi, go a little bit lower thing, which is interesting, right? Because the trend was these big TV sets, like in the news. Then YouTube came along, and it was lo-fi, right? It was people in their rooms with their webcams. It looked honestly terrible. And then it evolved where these YouTube creators were making so much money, where they recreated that news set essentially, and then they were like, okay, but now we need to make it look like a room again. So it's very high quality, that room look. Yeah. And then they went back, and then they went to phones, and high quality phones, and then now they're going back to that original internet, look of lo-fi. And a lot of big companies are doing it. A lot of big companies are preferring to do like these lower quality sets, and they're on the phone, which, the phone looks amazing, so whatever, but I see people not even wiping their lens. Like,
but that doesn't mean that it's cheaper still.
No, it's just the look. It's just the aesthetic.
But
because the quality of the content is way better nowadays.
But not a bud, fuck, I'm saying. A lot of businesses or people assume that quality is, should be more expensive, and then the low quality shouldn't be more expensive. You're not paying for how the hot dog's made, you're just paying to like eat the hot dog.
Yes.
So you're gonna consume like that organic feel, Well, it's strategically designed to make it look like that, and whatever the result is to get a sale or to get a customer or whatever it is, like we strategically did that. It doesn't now that doesn't mean that you just pay us less because we're not using less equipment. You're probably gonna pay us more because we're actually getting more results done.
Exactly. I think it's a tool, right? I think not everything's gonna look lo-fi. Not everything's gonna look high end. I think it's just a tool of what you're trying to do, right? If you have one idea and you want to get it across quickly, then yeah, you could do like just cell phone video, quick, easy, up, lives, everything. There's so many tools, which is great. And I think if you're closed-minded, you just see everything. You're like, oh, everything's turning like lower quality, everything's looking worse, everything's cheaper, everything's fast food. But no, it's one more tool in the arsenal of things you can do to sell, right?
Yeah.
Or to market or to make creative ideas and all that. And it's like I've been on a tangent on AI here. But my second big point about AI is that, at least in my opinion, I don't believe this notion that AI is going to take away a lot of jobs. I think, if anything, AI is going to create more jobs. And I think the big scare is one, the people who are funding this benefit from scaring everyone that, oh my God, it's going to destroy everything. You know, the world is going to explode and all that. There's definitely some environmental concerns, some, water concerns and energy concerns, and obviously some creative concerns and stealing artwork and all that. That's definitely something I'm like, okay, that's not cool. But I think similar to the advent of the internet, everyone's like, this is so great, and then they were like, oh, actually, I need people to help me use this, and that gave birth to so many web developers and so many careers, right? And at first they try to take it away because they're like, oh, the computer can replace all these people, but eventually they just replace it back. So I don't know if you saw this news about I think it was Ford, where they fired all these engineers because they're like, oh, we have this AI tool that the engineers helped us build that cost us millions upon millions of dollars. We get rid of these engineers, and now we can just use AI. And then later, 2-3 years, they're like, oh, actually, we need those engineers back.
Yeah, you need the expertise because if you just solely rely on AI, it's only going off of the local knowledge that either was inputted into it or your local knowledge. If you don't have the expertise on how to make it better or continue to find more things wrong with it the right way, then it's just going to be stuck in time in the past because you made the AI model over here and nothing's really getting updated from like actual professional engineers because
Exactly.
you're the CEO and you only know whatever was inputted.
You're looking on a short-term basis for like, how do I make it look like we're making more money through the short term, but ignoring the long-term, trend, right? And I think a lot of people are afraid of that. Like, for example, graphic designers are like, oh my God, all these like AI logo makers are gonna take away my job. But if anything, that client was never gonna commission a logo in the first place, right? That small business wasn't gonna commission a large, like a high quality logo in the first place. I think what it creates then is that they create their own logo, and later when they're successful, if they're successful, then they want to hire you, and then you can request a higher premium because not only do you know how, all the expertise and artwork of making a proper brand, now you know how to use the tools. So you can not only sell them their branding, their logo, you can sell them a GPT that gives them advice on how to, okay, I want to make a new artwork for social media. Okay, here's all your branding assets. Here's like the fonts, here's the things we use. You can do this in Canva even, and they can just make it for you. And then you sell that too. So now you have an extra avenue for revenue. And eventually, when they don't know what to do, because they're not going to know what to do because they're business owners, they're not designers, they're going to call you because you created that trust, you created that package, you created this environment and ecosystem for them to actually reach out to you.
And it goes back to what's a local business advice? Just point and shoot a camera. It's better than nothing. You got to learn how to do it first, and then eventually you'll hire an expert. That same
Exactly.
concept. It's the same thing with AI. The same thing with building the flyers. You do it for your business first to see, what works and what doesn't, and then eventually hire somebody when you can invest more into the business to make it look better or make it more effective. Not look better, make it more effective, and whatever effective is for you, either getting clients or whatever it is, that's the goal.
Exactly.
But in our industry, filmers, videographers, it's been this past year has been, you know, the quality, the way it looks sometimes, which I do get because I was talking to Roman yesterday that some luxury brands do need that high quality because it does set the tone. And you know, I do agree with that, and I also agree there's both. There's not an and or. No, there's not a or. There's an and where it's you can have the luxury side. You can also have the other marketing side. We're also going to focus on the organic UGC iPhone content while also promoting the luxury stuff on the website and have a mix of on Instagram or our social medias, the luxury and you know the goofy stuff, which the college is doing good at San Bernardino Valley College.
Yeah, you guys are killing it.
Some of the soccer teams that are doing it, Real Madrid is another example. Juventus is another example where they just like they'll use AI or memes in their stuff while posting cinematic, you know, training videos and other stuff on their YouTube. So it's like the soccer teams are killing it right now. We're not looking at it as like strategic because it's like, oh, they're just a soccer team. But someone like you and I can identify like they're hitting all the angles. No homo.
No, and they're great. And what I like about sports teams is that they really like to push the envelope. With there's some sports teams that have beautiful visuals. There's some like Major League Baseball teams that have like going back to film and like experiment with that. Real Madrid that you mentioned did a whole documentary on the Vision Pro about the Bernabeu and like it's called the Cost of Greatness, and it's incredible. It's insane. But they understand that they need to like use all these tools to make different styles, right? Because it's such a saturated market that they need to stand out somehow.
Yeah, and the Odyssey, they did the Odyssey trend in Real Madrid Instagram post, and that's where I got the idea from. Where I was like, oh damn, they're doing it, and then I just copied and pasted that same concept, and I just did it for San Bernardino Valley College.
Yeah, 70 million.
That's when you seen me. You were like, oh, I like that one. I was like, I haven't mentioned it until right now, but like I got it from fucking Real Madrid, a soccer team. And they're kind of doing it. Because I have enough experience, let me just do it for the college, a higher ed institution.
I love that.
And yeah, going back to the software, it's just updates, like how our apps and everything gets updates to be better performative or just stay up to date. It's the same thing with AI, you just have to always update it. But if you're updating it with the wrong information because you don't have the expertise, because you're either in a whole different industry, you will ruin like what it was initially designed for, or it's just not going to be up to date on like where it should be. And that's probably what happened with Ford. I don't know, but bringing people who are updated and that are skilled in that, it's like, okay, we'll keep them around. Or now we can do a hybrid. These guys will train the algorithm or the model to work as good as them, and then we'll have both people who are always innovating and thinking the next thing, and then the AI that can just replicate it fast, and then these guys will continue to get more knowledge to input this. So there's a way to do that, like labor part AI, and then the engineers doing some of the labor work so they can see like firsthand, like, oh, this doesn't go here or whatever, and then let's update it.
Yeah, someone needs to service the machine someday, you know.
Yeah, and it's not just one person. So I think everyone just assumes like, well, one person can press a button and it's all updated. It's like it's a lot more integrated than just fire everybody and one person's gonna stay. It's like maybe fired out of 10, maybe fired 3 or 4 because they were probably never really doing anything anyways. Yeah. It just looks on paper like, oh my God, you just let human beings go and now they're unemployed. But on paper or in person, and we see it in the places where we work, but it's like some people don't really do what they say they do, and it's just like they're just kind of here because they're taking advantage of it. But we're playing politics and HR, blah blah blah, and we can't just immediately fire people. So it's almost like that.
And I think the intrinsic quality of an artist that they can never take away, no matter how much AI and all that, is taste, right? And I consider you an artist too. I know you consider yourself more of a business person, but there's definitely art involved, right? Even it's the art of business, right? That's the one quality that can never be taken away or substitute is taste, right? Is that filtering of, okay, because you can shoot any photo, right? Especially with your phone, you can shoot any sunset, anything. But it's that filtering of, okay, no, this doesn't work, this doesn't work. Same with trending social media. Which trend should we use? Okay, no, this doesn't work, this doesn't work, this one works. It's that selecting, which I don't think will ever be replaced.
Yeah, I don't think so. There's two ways to look at it where, I or someone like probably from you is like, this is what I want to make, and whether it works or not, I'm going to get better at it until it does. And then for me, I'm just like, well, let's see what works now, and if this didn't work, then we're gonna figure out because we're doing it for the client and whatever they want that is gonna give them immediate results now, and then we will continue to innovate. There's no right or wrong answer. You know, a client will like your work and like I want to continue to just have that, and then you growing, it's gonna change just because you know you're growing with your business and other clients. That eventually they're just, I'm picking only you because you niche down into this style or this way of doing things that I like. For us, it's like we have a style in a way, but we're also tailoring it to them where it's like we're gonna fucking get you the results, whatever it is.
And I have kind of I know we're running a bit long, but I have a kind of a selfish question. It's similar to what we've been talking about, kind of segueing a bit. Right on cue. With the
Yeah.
light.
No, we're going until however long. I don't give a fuck.
Thank you. All right, so segueing, a kind of a selfish question I had for you is that you work on more of the business side, the small business, side of things, right? I work more on the nonprofit side, and we both kind of converge on the nonprofit side with the work at the college as well.
Yeah.
But I think your vision is more on the business, clients, all that side. Right now, it's been a season where statistically nonprofits have been struggling a little bit more due to funding, federal funding, politics, all that stuff that's happening in the world. They've been, funny enough, they've been getting more donations than years past, but all the funding from the government has been kind of cut short. Anyways, my point is, what can nonprofits learn from what you're doing on the business side? Because I feel there's that disconnect that there's not necessarily a client, so they're not necessarily doing the stuff that you would do at a business level. So if you're trying to help out a nonprofit, right? Let's say you land a nonprofit client,
Yeah.
and you're trying to change things. You're not trying to just keep the status quo. You're trying to actually change things systematically in marketing. What would you do for them?
I think I would just copy and paste what I did for the college, because they had,
What is that?
man, like trendy stuff and just letting a creative just create, and then like let's just see what works. You know, when Paul hired me, it was, you are outside of the industry and you're gonna make stuff that's different from people who are in the industry because they only know this. Like if you can mix what you know and what this is and make content that's relatable, like let's do it. I didn't know I could do it. I know I could, but it's like, damn, I'm working with a higher institution. But and then it ended up working out. Like, fuck yeah, this works. And then they just started building. It wasn't from me only. There's other departments that need to get built. But I think I like to think that I helped when it comes to the volume, the exposure, and just being creative and looking things a lot differently on at a college level. Because before, back then, it was just basic photos or maybe a video of something, and then we started just trying different things, or at least what I was already doing. So it would be the same copy and paste system of with nonprofits, that because they're so boring that anything right now, the bar is so low that whatever you do is like, oh my god, this is crazy. And then you just do that and then you be consistent at it, that you're gonna eventually be like the person that all the other nonprofits are looking at, and then like, damn, they're able to close grants because that one viral video or whatever it is, they just made content that was just different, and they showed more personality. When the people who sign off the grants, subconsciously, if you want to go deeper down, it's like that person, whoever signs off or makes a decision, whether it's a group or one person. It's like, I watched one of your videos where you talked about why you started it, or this one of the students or someone that went into the program and changed their life. Like I believe the vision because I seen it through you showing me, and that's what made me decide that decision.
I agree, and I think you make a great point. You were an outsider to the higher education system. You never done anything with college, right, before that. And I think that shaking things up ended up being the best thing, right? Because then it opened up that avenue for such a bigger audience, right? And just shaking things up, just kind of doing, trends you could do. I think a great, I don't know if you're familiar, but a great nonprofit that does this is the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. They do great trends. They have their people, so it's a nonprofit that works with formerly justice involved people that have been in the system, in jail and all that, and now are trying to like come out and like get a job and all that. they do trends. They do trends with the people that were formerly incarcerated. They they got featured by, I think Kim Kardashian shared about them when they were doing their firefighter work, and they understand that, hey, we can't just be doing things the way we've been doing them, right? We have to do things that may be a bit more trendy, things that may be a bit more social media friendly. At the same time, I think that worked. When you started, what 3, 4 years or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Now, what's the game for now, right? Not, I know you don't want to give away too much ball knowledge, but what's the game, or what's the area that people should do right now?
Man, well, same thing. Like, it's do the exact same thing because it's still in.
You think it still works?
Fuck yeah, it's we're in this space, so we see the trends. Real Madrid do this; they're all doing the same thing. The average person who looks at that content, you'd be surprised that whether it's like, damn, that was funny and creative, and then when they see that same exact trend in another video, they go back to you, bro. They stole your video idea, not knowing like I fucking took it from someone else. But they give you the credit, and why? It's because they're not on social media like we are, where we can identify and we're collecting so much data. They're just collecting the bare minimum. Even if they're collecting anything at all, they just see our video first. Whether if we're working with a nonprofit, for example, they would see that video first and like, man, this was so funny, man. You guys are doing a good job. I love this. Hey, man, those guys are copying you. Like, what the heck? Like, that's so crazy. You guys did it first. You get that a lot, and you still get that to this day.
I agree, and I think treating from the business side, there's the funders, right? So the people that give the money to these nonprofits, treating them as clients almost, like showing them, hey, this is the progress of what we've done with this money, right? I think that's something that can be really done through all those videos, to just repeat this and show, hey, there's where this money is going, right? You don't necessarily you don't have a client, right? You have these larger institutional partners. So showing them, hey, look, we're good stewards of this money. We're good stewards of what we're doing. Hey, make it funny, make it interesting for other people. So they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that they're giving away food donations at this place. This is so cool. And they made it funny and they made it accessible,
Yeah, it's all about the results, like being results based. So for that nonprofit, you want to hit the angle of like, we're going to do these videos, so then you're going to get more attention, and eventually that's going to get enough attention. Like for you right now, the fact that you know about that organization, their name and what they do and who collaborated with them, that's all from just like making the content, trendy videos that got somewhere in your head. I had no idea who they are. I'm like, I have no idea. But if you were to try to do it, you want to be results based, where it's like, our past videos got this much attention, where we end up getting a collaboration from the college, San Bernardino, or whatever stuff that you network with, that you can connect and you can build your own hype off of, because it's all about optics when it comes to social media. Like, we can do the same thing with you. Here's the playbook. We're already doing it. You don't even need to babysit us or walk us through. We already do it with other ones, and then that's where you can charge a premium, because you're paying for the convenience of getting it done and the results. So, because like, here's what you'll get after, not guaranteed, but here's the possibilities of what you'll get after. And it's almost like a risk that they're taking, like, I'm gonna spend this to get that. But if you can convince them, like, that it's less risk and more of like, not a guarantee, but like, it just convince less risk for them, then it's like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Oh yeah, I like it. Great ball knowledge, great tips. All right, I got one last question to wrap up.
No,
I
you're
got a
fine.
philosophical question. I'm stealing it from an Instagram video I saw, by the way. It was a great question. It's such a great question. I've been asking everyone about it, and I love it. It's fire. So, okay. Essentially, it's like, imagine you died, right?
Yeah.
You passed away, and now they made this museum that is your life, right? It's a bunch of exhibits on your life, like a bunch of like little pop-ups and stuff on your life, and you're the tour guide. What exhibit would you show, and how would you describe it?
I would show them the family exhibit of me being a father and trying to raise the family, because I think that's real important, because the bar is so low when it comes to, being a good spouse, whether husband or wife, and having kids. The standard, I think now, it's like, how many baby daddies do you have? I think that's not to offend anyone who has a lot of baby daddies, but it's like, or multiple kids from different parents or different spouses, keeping that one thing, and not even faking it, because a lot of people have families that fake it, like they do a bunch of shit behind the scenes. But for me, knowing like I already hit my rock bottom in the past, and I learned from all my mistakes, and I fucked up so much times in the past before my kids. That it's like and seeing how I was raised and other people were raised, like I want to raise my kids to see that it is possible that, mom and dad can be together in the same house. They're gonna fight sometimes, but we're creating the nuclear family, right? Is that how you say it?
Oh, yeah.
Family. So I've always been a part of that. Like I want to be the first person to at least like stand up for like the nuclear family, like raise the kids, stick with your wife, you know, find someone to have kids with that you're comfortable with, not just have them first and then, man, that was a bad potential. It's like, well, you didn't do your research enough.
I love that.
Almost like way in the data.
It's funny, right? Because you're so business oriented, you think you would talk about something business related, but no, completely opposite.
No, hell no. I mean, I even I want to start talking about like family stuff. I've been like this close to like wanting to introduce it because that would stick me out different with my competitors because I'm like basing it family related. Here's how I run the business with multiple clients and also come home to raising 3 kids and going on a 4th kid. And it's like, and also giving my wife attention, which I'm not the best at. And we do have our ups and downs when it comes to like giving the attention or communication or helping out with the kids. So, we're not all perfect, but stuff like that can relate because I would be one of the people promoting like, let's have a family, let's raise the kids. It's not going to be perfect like everyone likes to pretend on social media. It's going to be fucking tough, but it can be done. Mm-hmm. And it's not the easy way out. That's why the bar is so low, because it's one of the hardest things to do.
Which is crazy, right? Because I think there's that notion out there, also as a father, that we've kind of been tricked into not having kids anymore in their 20s and 30s, like going over later in life to have kids, like waiting until the moment feels perfect, which I don't think it ever does as a parent. I mean, I don't know. I've never heard someone say, this is the perfect moment to have a kid. We've kind of been robbed of that notion of having kids young and be able to like enjoy them, right? Because the fear, it's a lot of things out here, it's expensive.
Yeah,
fair.
It's always going to be expensive.
It's time consuming. Also fair. I mean, it's a kid, right? But I think if you start looking at all the little things, there's never a perfect time, there's never a perfect place. Like the whole idea is flawed, right? Like it's actually the very inconvenient thing to do is having kids. But definitely think it's worth it. Everything is, it's a very unique experience that you don't get anywhere else, right? You can't get in any other way. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can have a pet and that's great and it's similar, but it's way different. It's stressful, but it's cool, Yeah. In a way. They're funny, they're hilarious. They do like really funny things. But yeah, there's that notion of like almost the anti-natalism, right? Like, no, don't have kids. The world is horrible. And, I mean, fair, there's a lot of bad things going on in the world, but I think if you look statistically, like we live in a very good period of time, right? The crime is lower than ever.
At all the countries.
Disease is lower. Infant death is lower than ever, I think it was John Green had this point that if the biggest news was actually printed on the newspaper every single day it would be lowest infant death rate ever. It'd be just always breaking that record.
Yeah. But I think that's my way to contribute to society and be a good, like a Samaritan or whatever it is, like to the community, is raise my family right and try to show them the ropes for my daughters to see what a man should be and a husband. So then they're not just looking for the average fuckboy or someone to just spend time with and then just like fuck around with, or like, oh, well, my mom and dad were okay. They got together, they hooked up once, and then they just moved on. So I'm gonna be fine raising my kid by myself. It's like showing them that this can be done, and also building them up to be good members of society. Also, like their morals and the things that they were shown and implemented instead of just talk. Like we're actually showing it to them. So that's where I try to, whoever I talk to, like, being family. And then behind the scenes, I do practice what I preach, because I know long term our kids are
No
going to
front.
be affected if I'm pretending to be upfront and then they know like he was lying to you guys the whole fucking
Yeah.
time. He was an asshole dad. He was doing shit behind our mom's back. It's like I know for my own morals, like I want to set the example for our kids and my wife and other people who do look at me where it's like, hey, I'm like, how are you doing it with all these kids? It's like, it's not easy, but it can be done. It's possible.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
You're a good dad.
I try to be.
I think more dads need to hear that.
I try to be. So it definitely there's the easy way out where it's like, fuck, man, I don't want to. I just tune out these kids or tune out my wife, and it's
Right.
just
We,
like,
we say as we're away from our kids and they're somewhere else.
so it's
We're great dads. Not here.
yeah, it's well, we're working. This is our business, so
Oh,
we're
yeah, of
eventually going to justify to our wives, the IRS, that this was a tax deduction.
Yeah, this is a meeting.
This is what brought business.
Look at all this water. You know?
Look at all the product placement. This
Yeah,
we're going to get
yeah,
sponsored, and we got paid from this.
Yeah, sponsor us.
That's our IRS. We got two IRS, our wives and the actual IRS. So, but it's yeah, it's there, and I think trying to do that is stressful as fuck, but it's like a business. Growing a business is like raising a kid. You know, you're always learning something new, and you always have to give it attention.
Yeah.
And if you let one thing stop, like it just creates like it just gets worse.
The bad habits.
The bad habits, and then you have to start all over and like figure out like, okay, how can we fix this? And that's what I learned was business is like having a kid. You gotta always give it attention.
Love that. So okay, final question. In that museum, what's missing? Like, what is there not enough exhibits of?
Ah, fuck. I think building a system, like showing a museum, like this is how he built or I built a system for a team to be successful on.
But,
And
he
it
built all
works.
this stuff, but we didn't know how.
Yeah, so it's like so I can show other people like it's possible how to build it with a family and a business, and here's how like it's not just sometimes we look at it from the outside like oh yeah you just got it all and everything just works and it's like fuck there's systems that like specifically are the step if you skip a step then it doesn't work how the end result is, and if like no one sees all that stuff and then that's what like blows people's minds of how integrated things are. So it's like trying to build something like that where it's multiple people building a company, trying to help other people build a company because we're already doing that with other businesses, even though they're already established, but solving their problems that they have. Building something that works and it's like fuck we can replicate this and help other businesses and also grow our business and just put more people into it.
Oh yeah, I think that's a great note to end off. We touch on everything.
No, I mean, what about you? What's yours? Your museum.
No, I'm kidding. I think my exhibit would be about leaving everything from Mexico. I used to live in Mexico for the longest time, and we essentially had a good job. I had good friends and all that, and that voyage into the unknown, kind of the odyssey of going into the unknown and all that, and leave it all behind for nothing. You're essentially leaving for nothing, and sure, you probably felt this when you were starting on the video business. You were like, I'm leaving a good job for something I don't particularly know if I know what I'm doing, but I got to try it, and leaving that all behind and starting something without the knowing that's going to work out. Probably be my exhibit, and how it worked out. It got me to this life, to my wife, to my kid, to
Damn.
everything, right?
Yeah, that's pretty
But in the moment, you're like, I'm going to do this, and people are like, what? Are you dumb? Like, what, are you crazy? What the fuck? That's stupid.
good. Yeah.
You have a perfectly good thing going on here, and that has to apply in a lot of stages in life, right? Maybe things are getting too good, and you're like, actually, no, I need to mix things up a little bit. I need to figure out what am I leaving on the table here.
Yeah, we're always crazy until it works, and it's like, oh man.
Exactly. But then it works, and you still look crazy because you're like, well, now you're spending too much time on this.
Oh fuck it, yeah. And then what else? What's missing in your museum?
And I said what I'm missing, which is funny. I was talking to my wife about this, and then we watched Spider-Man, so it kind of related. Is I felt that the museum had too many things of doing it myself. Too many instances of I got this. Like I got all of this. I got it by myself. Like don't worry, don't help me. I got this. I don't want to be a burden. I can handle this. Trust me. And behind the scenes, I'm like driving myself crazy. Like oh I have like 20 different projects that I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. And something I've learned by being a parent is that it takes community, right? It takes people, it takes friends, it takes family, it takes a lot of people to raise a small child. And I think from Spider-Man, which is funny because that's his final conclusion, where he's like, "Hey, maybe I don't have to do this on my own. Maybe I can have friends while doing this. Maybe I can actually take a break, right?" I think it's such a cool paradigm to like overworking and hustle culture, right? Where Spider-Man's like, I mean, I don't know what's happened to you, where you wake up with a headache because you worked so hard the day before, and that's kind of what's happening to Spider-Man in the latest movie.
Yeah.
And then he just comes to the conclusion like, okay, maybe I can do a lot, but I can't save everyone. I can't do everything all the time, everywhere, and I definitely can't do it alone. So that's what we'll be missing, a little bit more asking for help.
And what's your next step to solve that problem?
And Gio, shout out Gio. No, having more of a team. I mean, we've talked about this for the longest, right?
Yeah.
Something I think you've been doing really well is building that team.
Trying
To build that team. But it's always a process, right? People leave, people come. Build a team, have more friends to help out, or help out, and also me help out them to be, equitable. And yet, just trying to do less myself. Trying to trust people more. I think is more the thing, right? Trust people more to do. I had my wife, which is now helping me with my business on photography. She edited some photos the other day. She edited a whole album of photos. And I was like, these look great. And I was like, I kind of built this up to be way more difficult than it was. And you did a great job. And I could have asked for help this whole time and not had to stay up until 2 a.m., So that's
Does it stem from like trying to save the money, or is it just like letting go of the art almost?
No, I think it's just ego, right? You're like, no, I've been doing this for 12 years, for 15 years. I know how to do this exactly. Like, you trust me, it's going to take a whole process. And then you teach people this stuff and they grab onto it really quickly, right? They're like, oh yeah, this is pretty easy. You're like, oh yeah, I mean, it took me one day to teach, but it took me 10 years to learn, which, is a good testament to like, if you properly learned it, you can teach it, right? And I think working with coaches, I recently got a fitness coach for like my weight, because I figured out I'm not losing any weight. I'm gaining weight. I'm going to the gym. I'm eating healthy. I can't do it by myself, so I paid a coach. Shout out, coach. So, and then you're thinking, oh my God, it's such an investment. You got to do this and that. And you're like, yes, but you got to start understanding you can't just do everything yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Especially if you have certain goals, you got to start, hiring people on your team.
Well, I mean, at least you have a system to explain it to people. Most people, when I started, I had nothing. It's like, just shadow me and I'll fucking teach you. I already know what I'm doing. That was the same thing with Gio and Alex, like bringing them, and they were at the dealerships with me, and it's like, oh, fuck, just film me doing these edits, or film me recording all these like employees, and then I just had to, take it, or it's like, I'm gonna have to take a leap of faith and let you. But it ties back to.
But maybe they would have done a good job if you would have let them just do it by themselves at the start.
They wouldn't have, you said?
They would have.
Oh yeah, so
just
now.
That ego of like, can I let go, right?
Yeah, and then now I am at a point where it's like, just trusting. Okay, there is no right way to get the result. Right. So I'm gonna let you experiment and figure out what works, because what's been working for me is probably already getting old. So your new way and new angle and new whatever different looking at it is going to be something new for our client, which is like kind of starting all over again, where it's like now we get to reset and have another 2 to 3 years with that style. Yeah. So it's letting go of my old ways and just accepting like, okay, we're going to try something new, talking to the clients. Like we're doing it now with our clients. Like we're going to try something new. We're going to do different kind of posts. We have other people that are going to do it, and they're like, yeah, like they appreciate, like, I'm glad you're trying to innovate instead of just stick to the same old thing. But it does come with just patience and trust. But like, I know Mr. Beast, that video where he's just like, instead of training somebody for 6 months and then they're gone in a year, I'd rather have them shadow me for a year and then they will be with me for 6 years, 4 years. So it's the same thing what I did with both of them. It's like, just shadow me. They shadowed me for a year. Alex and Gio just two years, sometimes longer. And then it was just kind of like, okay, now you already know how it is and the expectations, and it's like, now you can do your own thing.
Love it.
It takes a process, but For you and your wife, it's easy because fuck, like you're not spending more money to get that done.
But
So it's good. So now at this point, it's build the system how to do it. Hi, yeah, go somewhere. Did you need anything? Oh, okay. Uh, you're so now because you have the opportunity with your wife, take advantage of building the system on how she does it. So in case something happens where she has to do other things or whatever it is, like wants to do something else, you have like a system where now all we need to do, now you find an A player, like an A player that you don't have to worry about, like I gotta go cheap on. It's like I'll pay that top talent because they'll come with their system and they'll improve our system, or we just backpack off of theirs.
Exactly.
And that's where instead of like thinking, well, I'll just go cheap and then I'll put them in this system, and then that's like extra time, like I have to train all over again. Just hire the A player talent, save less time, they'll get it done. Here's our theme, our campaign, like the college. Just follow that and use your expertise and it'll get done.
It's like real life AI.
It is.
It's terrible.
It's I love it though, but it's something that I'm saying this out loud now just because I'm learning it. It's just growing pains this past like 2 months of like fucking figuring it out and trying to see it. And I'm finally coming over like the growing pains and over the hump of like, okay, now that we're trying to build this, like how can we replicate it, bring in more people and start it all over again and get more clients while still keeping the quality and consistency. Because I was telling Gio, I had like the Tuesday and Monday were just the most stressful because Tuesday we were at like 6 different clients.
Oof. That's
and
great though. Plus that you have 6 different clients.
Over like 60 videos having to get delivered.
That's crazy.
So heavy machinery in the morning, then shoot up to Victorville at Auto Glass, and then the Nissan, Honda, and then when we were done, shoot over across the bridge to fucking Kia and Toyota. So we were just like, you know, it was like blitz mode where it's like we're gonna knock all these out and we're dope as fuck, and it was good. But now we're realizing like aftermath of it, like we're burnt out. We come home angry with our family. It's like fuck, I already had a long day. I don't want to deal with anything. Instead of just spacing it out, you know, we'll handle 2 in a week, and then the other 2 in another week or another day, and it's like okay, we can have.
It sounds also if you add in a couple more people, that reduces the load too, and you can still keep it to 1 day.
I guess but we can.
You make more people, you can't make more days. So doing it all 1 day is actually kind of a strength in my opinion.
It is a strength.
More people.
It is, yeah. You know, you're absolutely right.
If
So
you have
right
1
now,
or 2 more A players, it'd be a breeze.
So right now, yeah. Then I am going through. I'm seeing the effects of doing it with only 2 people, and the deliverables are getting delivered later. The quality isn't as good as it was. So it's like, okay, here's what's wrong with it. The only way to fix it, I was only thinking like we're just gonna space out the days, but now we can, you know, just bring someone else on. That's just gonna take time on fucking have them shadow me and, you know, take a risk. But that's like anything when it comes to hiring an employee or somebody to come on board and learn everything that you're doing, and hopefully they don't go anywhere else. But that's where the leadership comes in. Good leadership will make them want to stay with a good vision. They're going to want to help you and grow with you. If you have bad leadership, then they're just only there temporary to just use you as a stepping stool and then go somewhere else.
There we go. You heard it here first. That was a great conversation.
Yeah,
good.
thank you. It's damn.
There's so many nuggets in there, man. People watch this. So much value.
And if they don't, fuck them.
Yeah. Great place to end.
I forgot to tell you guys I wasn't recording.
No,
It's okay. It was a great conversation.
We're gonna keep all this information in our head
I
anyway.
feel like I didn't want to. I didn't want
Oh,
to.
yeah, especially I didn't stop recording.
Oh, you're being serious?
No, mine is recording.
Okay. Well.